Thanks, April. In years past, Rhode Island's parole board was ably headed by Paula Kokan. She was widely credited with doing an excellent job on behalf of the people of the Ocean State whenever a convicted inmate was considered for the early release back to the community. Similarly, in days gone by, the state's sex offender registry was headed by Ken Walker. He, too, was given high marks for centralizing detailed information on the whereabouts and activities of those mandated to register. Today, however, there has been an evolution in the state's bureaucracy, and both those jobs are being performed simultaneously by one executive. The administrator at the intersection of these two critical positions is Laura A. Pizzaturo. Common sense hopes that these positions were consolidated as a result of some sense of gaining efficiency by lowering costs, rather than because of an internal turf battle. There is evidence, however, that this two-point charge is quite a bit for one person to handle. Recently, Walt Buteau of WPRI 12's Eyewitness News Investigative Unit ran a story that highlights some of the current shortfalls in both the sex offenders registry and the parole process. We are told that an upcoming report in Walt's series will present evidence that 21 of those listed on the state's sex offenders registry today do not have any address listed as their permanent residence. This obviously makes it impossible for the relevant local police departments to have any idea that a new convicted sexual predator is living in their jurisdiction. That is, after all, the reason the General Assembly created the registry in the first place. Since most of these stealth pedophiles are also parolees, a question is raised as to their level of compliance with regular reports to parole officers. Buteau has already reported that of those listed in the registry who do give residency addresses, 4 were living at motels. In these cases, many new questions are raised. Who is paying for those motel rooms? You and me as taxpayers? Also, in a motel, the parole requirement that sex offenders live not closer than 300 feet from underage potential targets could be violated on any given night, depending on who else books a room. One of these motels is the Sand Dollar in Mesquamacut. Does its management inform every other guest who registers that there could be a sexual predator in the next room? Does the management even know? There was also an item on the Channel 12 report that one of the registered sex offenders who now lists the Wickford Motor Inn as his home of record is also working at that establishment as a handyman. Okay, does he have a passkey? Does any of the electrical work he performs on the motel's wiring require certification from a licensed electrician? And if so, does he hold such a cert? It just gets curiouser and curiouser, as Lewis Carroll once said. So, whatever the reason for decreasing the staff who manage oversight of this critical public safety issue, it seems like it's time for the governor to recognize that someone in her administration has some splaining to do. April?